Hi guys, my name is Tori. Today I'm going to run you through a short, little, gentle, feel-good practice. So let's find a comfortable seat on your mat, and if you prefer to have the hips elevated higher than the knees, then just grab a blanket or a block. That will help you to lengthen the spine and allow you to arrive to your practice today. So with that, we're going to close our eyes and bringing the hands to the tops of the thighs, palms facing upward. Just taking a few breaths to allow yourself to arrive to your mat today with a wholehearted intention here. So breathe in any way that allows you to do so. That might mean staying with a natural rhythmic breath, or perhaps inviting a little bit more length and depth into your breathing. Eventually we will get to the lengthened and deepened breath, but right now just take this time, this opportunity to observe. And feel free to offer up an intention, or maybe even dedicating your practice to someone today. And trusting yourself with your intention, whatever that may be. Let's now begin to lengthen and deepen your breath. As you do, inhale deeply in through the nostrils. Feel that cool air coming in through the nostrils and all the way down into your belly. And as you release the exhale, begin to feel that heat, maybe generating a little bit more energy. Let's take 2 more breaths just like that. Big deep breath in, inviting more space, more expansion into the body. And as you exhale, creating a little bit more softness. Last one here. Deep breath in and releasing the exhale. We're going to start with a mudra here, which is great to use throughout your practice, whether that is in a place where you're feeling frustrated or a place where you might need a little bit more focus. It's called the Hakini Mudra, and we won't spend too much time on it, just a little bit of time. And as I mentioned, it's a great place to come back to when you really need a little bit more focus. It's also a great way to relieve stress. Balances the right and left hemispheres of the brain. It also mimics the brain. So bringing the fingertips to touch, and you can rest the elbows alongside your body, just maintaining that length in the spine. And feel that connection as you begin to invite the breath to lengthen and deepen once again. And just spend maybe 5 to 8 breaths here. Just notice how you feel. It improves our memory. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And stay here for as long as you need to. If you're ready to release, bring the hands down to rest on top of the thighs, palms facing up. Maybe just tucking the chin slightly towards the chest. As you do, notice how you feel. Maybe a sense of calm, a sense of presence and peace. Blink the eyes open and lift your gaze. And we're going to start actually in a Dandasana, a staff pose. So with that, extending the legs out in front of you and grounding down through the heels. So if you need a block, blocks, if you're arms are a little shorter, then bringing the floor closer to you. A block is a really great variation for this pose. Otherwise, let's bring the hands to the hips, alongside the hips rather. And as you ground down through the heels, point the toes to the sky. Take a nice big deep breath in, draw the shoulders back, keep that softness in the shoulders, and as you inhale, point your toes. And as you exhale, flex. Ground down through the heels. So stay with that movement, just moving slow and controlled. Tone your belly so your navel is contracted back towards the spine, pointing your toes on the inhale, flexing on the exhale. Let's do a few more rounds. See if you can turn on that back body when you really point the toes energetically forward. Keep the belly toned. That will help with the length of the spine. One more. Point your toes. Get long here with the inhale. Then exhale. Ground down through the heels. Flex the feet. Point your toes to the sky. Nice. And we're going to bend that right knee, so maintain that length in the spine. As you bend the right knee, little to no effort here. Work that right leg to straight. That's your inhale. Keep charging through the heel. It's a flexion here, so you're pointing the toes to the sky. As you exhale, clasp the hands as you reach for the shin and pull that knee forward or towards the heart. And inhale. Remember, little to no effort with the hands. You're just using that leg strength. And bringing the knee back towards the heart, get long here. So just a few more rounds. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And the leg is to or towards straight. We're not forcing the leg to straight. This is a gentle movement. Notice if you start to round out through the spine and bring that energy back into the base of the spine. Keep the integrity of the spine. One more, then we're going to pause with that knee bent towards the chest. Clasp the hands. Breathe here. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Bring the hands back alongside the hips and slide that right leg forward. Same thing, other side. So on your inhale, we'll bring that left leg to straight. You might feel a difference here. Maybe you have a little bit more of a lengthening through one leg. Exhale, bring the knee back to the heart. A few times here. Moving slow and controlled, so you're allowing yourself that time, that space to feel. Clasp the hands. Let's take two more. Whether the knee is bent or the leg is fully extended, really take that effort to charge through the heel and point the toes back towards you and turn on the back of the leg. One more. Let's pause with that knee to chest. You need to self-adjust to get the spine long. One more breath here. Sliding that left leg forward, come back to your Dandasana. See if you notice any new sensations that you will welcome as with any changes in your body through your practice, whether it's tightness and tension or ease and softness. Welcome everything you feel. Yoga is a place of exploration and discovery. Take this time and opportunity to really connect to your body and your breath. And from here, let's make our way to hands and knees, tabletop position, neutral spine. Take your time getting there, no rush. From here, we're going to come into a twist. So, other than our normal hands and knees position, we're going to squeeze our inner thighs together. But first, walking the knees over to the right side of the mat, lowering your left hip to the floor. Keeping your arms in a goalpost position, and maybe this is where you stay today, you're still getting that benefit of the twist. Or you can come down to the forearms, and the forearms are parallel to one another. You're using the palms to press down into the mat, or maybe you even lower all the way down, belly to the floor. So you can turn opposite ear, making this a full twist, cervical spine twist, or maybe your forehead to the mat, or maybe left ear to the mat, excuse me. Whatever feels good, so don't force it. Couple breaths here. Just notice where the twist is coming from. Breathe deeply, smooth and consciously. 2 more breaths. And we're going to come out the way we came in. So as you walk the hands back, you lift the torso, roll to the knees, and then come back to center. Walk your knees this time to the left side of the mat and lower the right hip to the mat. As you do, same thing here. Arms can stay extended, forearms, or maybe you lower the torso all the way to the floor. Again, whatever variation that works for your head, your neck, without causing unnecessary tension. Notice the quality of your breath. And it's okay if your breath becomes sticky or choppy. Just be aware of coming back to the smooth, steady, even breath. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath here. And when you're ready, walk the hands back as you lift the torso. Come back to your hands and knees position. And from here, we're going to take a variation of cat-cow. Be careful of the knees. If you have restrictions with the knees, just stay with your traditional cat-cow movements. Otherwise, we're going to get into our core and generating a little bit of heat and energy in our center. So as you inhale, melt the heart towards the mat. As you do, bring your heels to glutes. Shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale, round the spine. Bring the tops of the feet to the floor, and as you do, press into them, and then hover the knees an inch or 2 off the mat, chin to chest, chest to chin. Oh my God, Tori. What did I say? Chin to chest? Did I say that right? It didn't sound right. Oh my gosh. Okay, chin to chest. And inhale, gaze forward, heels to glutes. You'll start to feel that heat in the abdominals, the center, right away. Exhale, as you do, create space in the back body. Hover the knees. It's not a big hover, maybe an inch. Maybe you even leave the knees connected, depending on how you feel. 2 more. And always coming back to your cat-cow that you're used to. If that doesn't work for you, you find you're getting frustrated or that you're trying to catch the breath, and just return to your cat-cow. Returning to that neutral spine tabletop position, take a slight separation between the shoulder blades and breathe deeply and tone your belly. Exhale, sit back, child's pose. And on your inhale, come forward. Keep this energetic, so really reaching out through the shoulders. Exhale, sit back, child's pose, pressing down through the heels of the palms. Sit your hips back to your heels. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, sit back. We're going to add on to this, so walking the knees back as you come up to your hands and knees position to melt the hips towards the mat. Coming into a little bit of a back bend here. And as you exhale, sit back, child's pose. Let's do that just a few rounds, really working with your breath. Come forward, melt the hip points to the mat. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, child's pose. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Coming back to child's pose. Let's make it a wide leg child's pose as you melt the torso in between the thighs. And just make more of a passive pose out of this as you release. Coming back to the breath. The slow, smooth, steady breath. One more breath here. On your next inhale, let's make our way back to neutral spine, tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Let's find our very first downward facing dog. Work out any kinks that you have. You can spend as much time as you need to here. When you're ready, bring your gaze forward in between the hands. Walk your feet forward, finding a forward fold. Your block might come in handy to bring the floor closer to you if you need it. And just lengthen through the back of the legs, release the upper body. Inhale to a halfway lift as you stretch your spine, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, soften. Bend the knees, rise to stand, Tadasana mountain pose. Let's meet with hands at heart center. Lateral bend here, so any variation that you choose with the hands. I like to bring my hands to Shiva. You might choose to bring the right hand to reach for the left wrist. Comfortable with distance apart between the feet. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. We're going to take the hips to the left and the fingertips to the right. And make sure that you're really working that left shoulder blade back towards the spine. Option here for balance. So you can take the left toes out, and this might be a great place for you to be. Maybe you find a little bit of flexion in that foot and hover that left leg. Make sure that you create a softness in the standing leg. 2 more breaths. Releasing the left leg if you took that variation, coming back to center. Take a baby back bend. And exhale, hands back down to heart center. Pause. Be mindful of your transition. We'll take the other side. Next inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Whatever variation you choose with the hands. And taking this time the hips to the right, the fingertips to the left. Option again to take the right toes out. That's an invitation, not an obligation. Work the right shoulder blade back towards the spine, and maybe you find that right foot to hover. Or maybe you keep the toes connected to the floor. Tone your belly. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. And inviting that right foot back into center. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we'll play with a little bit more balance, kind of getting an idea of where you are in that hip by that lateral opening and the leg variation. So taking your hands to your hips, taking your right leg out to the side, and as you exhale, sit back. That right foot comes behind, curtsy lunge. Inhale, maybe you lift this right leg a little higher. Add that flexion to the foot, it helps with stability. Come forward. Exhale. Next time your right leg comes out to the side, pause there. Keep the leg lifted if you can. Tone your belly. Softness of the standing leg is so important here. If you lock that leg out, it's really difficult to stay nice and balanced. 1 more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to your mountain pose, Tadasana. And just let that side kind of marinate and digest in before we take the other side. Being really mindful of your transitions is so important through your practice. It allows you to slow down off of the mat. When you're ready, let's take that same thing, left side. Hands to hips, left leg comes out to the side. As you exhale, find that curtsy lunge, bending into both knees. And as you inhale, bring the left leg out to the side. Maybe you find a hover. Remember, you can stay connected to the floor if that's easier for you. Maybe a few rounds until you really start to connect to the breathing. Then you'll find ease in that balance and that lift of the leg. Last one, then we're going to hold that left leg either into a hover or the big toe stays connected to the floor. Bend into that right knee with a micro bend. 2 more breaths. And as you exhale, bring the left foot back into your mountain pose, palms face the front of the room. Pause. Slow down your breathing. Smile at your efforts. Let's meet at the front of our mat if you're not already there. From here, we're just going to step back into a warrior one. Bringing your hands to your hips, let's bring the right foot, keep the right foot forward and step the left foot back 3 feet in distance. Square your navel towards that right knee, and if you feel comfortable here, bring the arms up and overhead. Warrior one. Adding a little bit of movement here as you inhale, bring that right leg to straight. As you exhale, goalpost the arms and bend into the right knee. Slow and controlled movements. Use your inhale to get longer here, reaching fingertips to sky. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's pause here. 3 deep breaths. Notice your strong connection to the earth. Open the heart space. 1 more breath. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Hands to hips, step the back foot to meet the front. Let's meet in mountain pose once again. Taking a couple breaths here. Honor your transition. And when you're ready, we'll take the right foot back, warrior one. Hands to hips first so we can square off the shoulders and the hips to the front of the room by squaring the navel to that left knee. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And we'll start to add that movement once you find not only the connection to the breath, but your strong and steady posture. Inhale, get long as you work the left leg to straight. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Inhale and exhale. Slow movements. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more, then we pause in that goalpost position. Inhale and exhale. Pause here. 3 breaths. 3 smooth, even breaths. Next inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Bring the hands to the hips and step the back foot forward. Let's once again make our way to the floor. As you inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Step back, downward facing dog. Come up really high on the balls of the feet and with control lower the knees to the mat. We're going to cross at the ankles to find a seat, eventually making our way to a reclined position on our mat. So, with that, you can come the pretty way by bringing the arms to extension, palms face one another, and then with ease, slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Leaving the knees bent, soles of the feet to the mat, and bring your arms into a goalpost position with the backs of the arms really pressed into the mat. So that's going to be part of your foundation here. So palms face one another. Pressing down equally through the feet as much as you are the back of the arms. Inhale to lift the hips up. See that you're not bringing your chin towards the chest, but you're working the chest a little closer to the chin. Knees point forward, not out. And exhale, slowly lower down. So stay with these movements. Inhale, lift the hips. Keep pressing down through the feet, inner and outer edges equally. Tone your belly. Exhale, slowly lower the hips down. Let's do 2 more, then we're going to hold that lifted position. Work with your breathing. Keep pressing down through the backs of the arms. Spread your fingers wide. And when you're ready to hold, lift the hips. Maybe you work the arms a little closer together, getting a little bit more leverage to lift the hips a little higher. Breathe. And when you're ready, exhale to release. And then you can take some windshield wipers just to neutralize, just taking distance between the feet, maybe the mat's width, the distance, and just rocking the knees from side to side. And so from here, we're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest. Take the right hand to the outer edge of the right foot. Half happy baby. Take your left hand if you need to the top of the left hip, just as a gentle reminder to stay nice and grounded. And then just notice how this feels. Kind of working that right thigh more parallel to the floor. One more breath. And then release that right foot. Invite the left knee in. Same thing, other side. Half happy baby here. Right hand may find the right hip. And then release. Let's come back to that half happy baby on the right side, and we're going to add on to that. So the outside of the foot with the right hand. This time we're going to take the left hand to the right foot, the right hand to the right knee. Working into kind of a reclined pigeon-like pose. And maybe you invite the head and shoulders off the mat to a little extra abdominal effort. And then come back to your half happy baby. Left hand finds right foot once again, right hand to knee, working the leg kind of parallel to the chest, as parallel as you can get it, then back to your half happy baby. So stay with these movements, getting into all areas of the hip. And use your breath. Remember that lifted head and shoulder option is just an invitation. If that doesn't feel good, then you can stay grounded. Just invites a little bit more of that effort in the core, in the center. And when you're ready, let's release and take it to the other side. Left leg comes back into knee to chest, taking your half happy baby. Now the right hand finds the left foot, left hand finds left knee, lifting the head and shoulders or not. Come back to your half happy baby. Let's do about 4 to 5 rounds of this. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice where you're sending your breath. If you need to hold the position, and stay there and breathe into that space. Let's take 2 more. Right hand to left foot, left hand to left knee. And last one. And when you're ready, let's release. And bringing your arms out to a T position. Lower the knees to the right. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Keep the shoulders grounded and bring your gaze over that left shoulder. Spend about 3 to 4 breaths here. Keeping and maintaining that deep connection to your breath. Two more breaths. Come back to center and maybe rock gently from side to side before landing on the left. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Ground down through the shoulders. Bring your gaze over the right shoulder. And close your eyes. Bring all of your attention inward. Two more breaths. When you're ready, bring the knees back to center. Soles of the feet to the mat and slide your legs out into extension. Bring your arms alongside your body. Close your eyes, and if you need any props that you normally use for your Shavasana, you can grab those now. No need to control the breathing, allowing yourself to return to the natural rhythm of your breath. No effort here. And acknowledge your thoughts as if they were clouds and let them go. And staying here for as long as you need to. Remember that taking this time to tune into the present moment is a gift to yourself. Tapping into the healing energies of the body, your inner peace. It always allows us to have the outside world meet us where we are. Staying in Shavasana for 5 to 10 minutes, or if you have the time, then longer. Thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.